everyone, welcome back to another Age of Empires 4 commentary. I am Beyond, and thank you so much for all the support in the past couple of videos and the channel as a whole. I truly do appreciate it. For today's game, we have on the left-hand side of the map, in the yellow, we have the comedian, aka Beasty. You can go check him out on Twitch, on YouTube. We'll leave his socials in the description. Doesn't really need an introduction, but he's now also a comedian amongst being one of the best players in Age of Empires 4 at the current moment, and one of our largest streamers. On the right-hand side of the map, in the pink, we have kauP playing as the English. I think I actually forgot that BC was playing the French. But kauP is also a awesome streamer. Check out his stuff from time to time as well. Plays a lot of English, so if you're an English main, go check him out. He plays super aggressive, and it's always a fun game. Usually likes to get into that feudal age aggression, so if you're a fan of that kind of style, I would highly recommend checking out his stream. I'm not going to pop the stats up on today's video regarding the French versus English matchup. The new patch, there's so few games that there's not really enough sample size to go on. But I would say I think that the French have a slight edge in this matchup just because the French are just so good right now. They have the early game, they have the civilization boost, they usually go 2 TCs and make it look pretty easy. So I'm going to have to give it to the French on this one. With that being said, there was a change that I'm sure you've heard from every other video. But, I'll bring it to you as well, just in case you only watch me in the Age of Empires 4 community, which is 1, thank you so much, I really appreciate that. And 2, I'll make sure you're up to date at least. Now, the keeps did get a nerf. They went from 800 to 900. Resources, boiling oil got nerfed to oblivion. Don't know if that was fully needed, because boiling oil is pretty easy to trigger and kind of get a void. You just send one unit up, trigger the boiling oil, and then you can send the rest of the lads in. But you know what? They felt the need to change it, so we'll have to wait and see how the meta shifts. That extra 100 stone, obviously stone is pretty limited resource on the map. As you can see, there's not many stone croppings. Like, there looks like a lot, but it's not actually that much stone, right? Like, that's only one keep, that whole thing. That's only one keep. You know what I mean? Like, so that it's pretty deceiving. So hopefully it cuts it down a little bit when it does get that boost up. But we'll have to see. I'm not a big fan of late game, but I'm also well aware that Age of Empires, that is the crux of this game. So if you have made it this far into the video and you are enjoying, please do make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I'd thoroughly appreciate it. We're up over 500 subscribers. I cannot believe it. Now the journey is to 1,000. Hit that partner status, which I've always wanted. So if you could help make that goal become a reality, I would very much appreciate it. Not highly appreciate it. I guess highly appreciate it too. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, I always say that at the 3-minute mark now because 1, don't want to bore you at the beginning, and plus I leave a little tooltip, and 2, honestly, if you're not vibing with it in the first 30 seconds, you're probably not going to stick around for very long. So hopefully at this point you're at least enjoying a little bit of what's happening on your screen in front of you. Now we're going to switch this back over here because the builds are pretty much deceased, but actually I'll go back because I think someone said in the comments to keep it up until like around 8 minutes. So we will do just that. Nothing too crazy coming out. We have the School of Cavalry right around that 4-minute mark. If you are going against a French player, just know that there will be a knight in your base around that 5-minute mark-ish. Right, if that takes into account travel time across the map, production of the knight itself. So just start thinking to get ready by like that 5-minute mark if you can. And just know that's probably the earliest you'll see one. And if you only see 1 or 2 knights, be a little bit suspicious. I played a game last night as the Ottomans on my stream, so go check that out. Another shameless plug, but go check that out. Link it will be in the description below. I'm trying to stream about like once or twice a week, my journey or casting. Regardless, I was playing a game last night, and I didn't see anything happening with the French. There was only 2 knights. They came into my wood line. That's about it. And then it was kind of dead quiet on the western front, if you will. So I took my Sipahi, moved it out across the map, and I noticed that they were going for a little bit of cheeky trade. I've been seeing a lot more trade these days, especially on Hill and Dale, stuff like that. So just start scouting those things out a little bit more. It's getting a little bit. People are starting to throw down those early trade strategies because if you don't catch them early on, it's absolutely devastating. Now, we do see all these on stone, which means that BC is going to be dropping down that second TC pretty quickly. And kauP is still A little bit behind in terms of feudal age, but that's pretty standard in this matchup. And there is already the barracks coming out. You can see he's already removed these from gold. Just wants everyone to be nice and close, nice and safe, because he does know there's going to be a knight roaming. Even if there's only one or two, it can still easily pick off a villager. Of course, the French knight gets that bonus charge. So once he connects on that charge on a villager, he does bonus damage after charging, which means he can one-shot your poor little villagers without the upgrade of textiles, but no one gets that early on. But honestly, it's not a bad investment versus the French. 100 gold seems like a lot, but it could save you a whole bunch of villagers, especially if they're very, very good with raiding. I know that we've all been had before. Love this little wall off here by kauP. Just makes it so you have to go all the way around, and if you're going to go all the way in, there's a chance that you can be caught out by some spearmen and trade a knight. So you definitely trade a knight for the amount of resources it takes to put up this wall. So it makes this wood line feel a lot better, and there you go. Knight has to go all the way around, and it makes it much easier for the spears to just kind of cut through. So really like that, and kaup's also going to throw down a wall over here. So that way it just pretty much knows exactly where the knights are going to be coming from, which is over on this side. And this side's pretty protected. The gold's a little bit out and about. We do have the pink blobs moving out across the map. As I mentioned earlier, kauP is a big fan of early aggression. We don't see that second town center just yet. I'm just kidding. I'm blind. It's down here by the deer. Again, pretty stock standard. There's the kauP scout. There is all these trying to get over here. I don't think they're going to get here in time, though. So this town center is going to be up, ready to go, and they're all going to pop in and absolutely decimate whatever comes towards them. But this is a good spot to ram down. The only issue with the French is the longer it's up, the more value it gets. And we're not even close to rams at this point, so we're going to be able to pop out 10 or 12 villagers, maybe even more at that point before even a ram threat comes out. Oops, sorry about that. So that's the real issue right now in this matchup. It's very, very hard, honestly. If they do go for this eco style, there's not really much you can do as the English. You can go fast castle, drop down the second TC, King's Palace over here somewhere. That's always an option, but at the same time, I mean, the French players are just going to have a second TC on you way, way longer. And with those boosts of villagers, they're producing them in about 17 seconds. You're over here sitting at a lonely 20. It's going to get out of hand pretty quickly, as we can see, already down by 4, and it's only going to go from here. There is the first tower being produced by kauP. I think we're going to be seeing this stream a whole bunch. Like I said, kauP loves the feudal age aggression, so why not get a little bit loose on the map? We also see that we have 3 archers now coming out. The stock standard for French, we have the archers, we have the knights. Now we also have some horsemen, not stock standard, but it's going to be a nice kind of arrow soak from the English, and this is exactly what you want to do against the English. Pick off these reinforcements. The knight does bonus damage, 3 shots an archer. That's just a gift for free. Nothing was really done. Another archer is going to be in the sights. This. If you are a French player, do this. This is perfect. Just harass them in their stream of army. Do as much damage as you possibly can. Don't catch your knight out, though. That's absolutely devastating. If you lose this early knight, that could really change the tide of the entire game. That's really commanding the middle of the map and keeping the English player at bay. But if that thing goes away, it could be all she wrote. That being said, we do have the tower going up for kauP, knowing full well what's coming at him, and there is the knight. There is no spear over here, so that knight has no fear. Now the one's poker comes out. You gotta love this, and look at that. We can zoom again, ladies and gentlemen. We have the power to zoom. I've been forgetting because it's been 2 months. I've been without it, but there you go. In all of its glory, the spear. The one spear that can hold off this entire horse army. Just this one little guy trying his absolute hardest. Got that Nike boots on. He is cooking right now with those pink boots. Are those pink boots? Absolutely looking fresh to death. Running these horsemen down. We're gonna get out of the zoom so you guys don't all get sick. But I think you got the message. Now we have kauP dropping down a forward lumber camp just in case, just wanted to make sure, just to see, get a little bit extra. Probably gonna be dropping down another tower a little bit closer to this TC, but wouldn't be surprised to see a ram come out very, very soon. Beasty is on the lookout for any stragglers that you can imagine. No villagers have still gone down for Beasty, which is actually quite insane. Same for kauP. So pretty much a stalemate at this point, but as you can see, as I mentioned, the longer this TC stays up, even though the damage is being done. The damage is being done on the economic front by Beasty. This is just a mainstay, and this force is still not enough to take down a whole TC, especially with Beasty doing such a great job picking off reinforcements. kauP is trying to get creative in how to send things certain places. We do have an engage, and it looks like they're even going to get out, and with some damage on the backhand side. This is an absolute masterclass of micro we got going on right here. kauP is looking to do some damage, but again, we don't have the rams just coming out just yet. There's a ram technology, finally. And the damage is just compounding at this point. And also, this is not going to be cheap to take down, right? Like, so this investment is probably already paid itself off in terms of resources gained by these villagers and resources produced by the villagers produced at this point. So we're already seeing a net positive over here for Beasty. And then on top of that, we just have, it's going to be a lot to take this thing down. It's not going to be cheap to kill off. We have a large grouping of army, 11 and 15, so it's not like it's going to go down that easily anyways. So if they do try to engage upon this town center over here, Beasty's going to bring in the boys from the back. There's the one ram. Looks like it's going to be depleted because he sees Beasty's massive army coming here, including this one knight. And they're just going to take down this forward tower, which is so huge. This is a huge stopping point to the English. If the English can't get a tower up, it's absolutely devastating. As we saw against the Vortex game, kauP needs to escape with this forces over here, but Beasty knows exactly where they are. Like a true football player is picking the best line so they can get them. All of kauP's forces, all of pink is converging onto one area. Looks like Beasty's going to call it off, seeing just how much is here. I think the scout's going to go down, but it did a great job of tracking that army. Now we do have 20 to 20 over here, but again, 20 villager lead over here. It's just absolutely insane how good the French are. Like, they're keeping up with everything, plus they drop down to town center. This is why they're so good right now, right? Like, this is why they're, I don't know if they're S tier. I know there's a bunch of tier lists, and I'm no pro, so don't listen to me 100%, but in certain matchups, the French just feel too good. Because if you can't put early pressure on, it's just going to be a really rough time. And someone like the Ottomans, something like that, I've been having success into the French. But when I was playing as the English, I was having no success whatsoever. Here, it looks like we're going to be seeing a nice engage. Just kidding. We are not going to be seeing any engages. That is incorrect. Well, we might. The lads might meet up in the middle. We do see a scout getting a little brave, decides to pull back in time. But Beasty knows the longer he can keep this dance going, the larger this econ lead is going to grow. We're almost at double, which is absolutely insane. 38 villagers are on food. That's how much that kauP has in total for villagers. 1,000 food compared to 400, even in wood, and about even in gold. But it's just night and day at this point. And also, I believe the farm transition is coming out. No, not just yet. We don't have the farm transition just yet, but the boar was picked up. That's where the spike in food came from. We have kauP moving out again, trying to do some sort of damage. Knows he needs to do some economic damage to this French player to do a little bit, to do something. But unfortunately for him, it's not going to be looking too good. If you are a French player, follow this build. This build is absolutely picture perfect. I know. All of a sudden, I'm not an English main for like 2 days, and I'm dropping back-to-back videos on how to beat the English. But I mean, of course, we don't know what the outcome of this fight's going to be. But I just love the unit competition over here from Beasty. It just seems to be utilizing all the things that he has available to him, which is food and wood, and it's all the safe resources at this point. This little gaggle of villagers, though, better be careful. 21 villagers over there. Does have to be careful, but this is a large force. 26 horsemen is nothing to write home about, and it looks like we're going to be seeing an engage on these horsemen. They do meet their maker with a row of spears, but with this many, oh no, these poor villagers, they just get here in time to build the tower, but not just it. There we go, and we're going to be seeing some nice micro back and forth, some nice cutting over here from kauP, controlling these spearmen, getting them in line, pulling them back to not get picked off completely by these archers from the French side. We do have network of castles finally hitting. We have a 2-tiered system over here from kauP. 1 volley, 2 volleys, and each horseman is getting absolutely obliterated. Does have to get onto the damage of Beasty, which looks like that's what he's doing at the current moment. It looks like the English player is finally hitting that critical mass of longbowmen, but that network of castles plays a huge role, and kauP does not have anything to show for it on this side of the map. That 1 forward tower was evaporated quite quickly. And now I wouldn't be surprised to see if kauP decides to go Castle Age. Now we're going to be seeing another outpost try to be thrown down over here. Let's go check on over here. Still a thriving little mini economy over here. On the front hand side, we have all these archers where kauP is stepping up yet again. Might have waited until the outpost happened, but it looks like we're going to be getting some more kiting. We have a few more knights into the mix this time. Beasty having a little bit more resources this time, but all of those knights engage onto that front line of spears, so a good trade so far for kauP. If he can keep this archer mass alive, he will be in an okay position. But that being said, it's just an absolute back and forth. This is an absolute clinic of Archer Micro going forward, just tit for tat the entire time. At this point, though, kauP is thinking that I can actually take this at this point, so he probably did a quick scan of each side. 41 it beats 30 at this current moment, plus the English longbowmen are just doing that much more damage. We have +1 on each side. So it really is starting to add up. We have +1 attack as well for Beasty for those horsemen, but there's unfortunately none left. I love this micro for kauP, moving him into the back line for the archers so that they make sure they don't escape. And it looks like we're going to be finally having a forward outpost decided to go up. But at this point, Beasty has doubled the villager lead. So even though the English player did just clean house, he needs to do a whole lot more damage. Lost a lot of front line there, which is super unfortunate. But there's not much he can really do at this point because this town center has been up for so long. This makes the French so good. We have more knights coming out. Actually has pretty decent damage, can 3-shot a knight, which is actually better than I thought it would be going, but they're still feudal age knights, so they're not super strong just yet. There is the glow up for the English army. Beasty is moving forward, trudging, and just knows that every single trade he gets is an advantageous one on his behalf, and he keeps cutting down this army. But can we just get a round of applause in the comments for the micro from both of these players? I don't care who wins. This is an absolute clinic on how to micro archers, and it's also an absolute clinic on why the English are struggling so much into the French at the current moment. The traditional English feudal age aggression does not seem to be panning out like it used to. There's a Royal Institute being dropped down for Beasty, sitting at a 50 villager lead. This he can keep producing these all day long, and now he's going to be investing into the coveted Castle Age. Once we get these these silver hats on the French side, it's going to be all she wrote. But at this point, kauP can still do some damage with these archers. He does have the critical mass. If he can somehow get a larger mass and do some economic damage on the backhand side, he does have a chance. It looks like we have the guild hall going down in the backhand side over here next to all these beautiful berries. So kauP does have a chance if he can maybe even drop a keep. Is that what he's thinking too with this forward outcropping? If that's the case, that'd be really nice for him. Or I mean, he's going to be getting arrow slits or something like that. But we also have chivalry coming in for these knights. Now BC is starting to get a critical mass of knights. There's only 3 spears on the map, which is very concerning. We need to be seeing a lot more spears to deal with these knights. And there's the Castle Age. There is the immediate GG from kauP. Unfortunate, was not able to get that early pressure off. If you're a French player though, take a look at this replay. This is exactly what you want to be studying from. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. GG's to both players. Both their links will be in the description below. And if you did enjoy, please do subscribe and drop a like. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you so much and have a great night.